every time the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome sets in and tries to convince otherwise that eventually this is going to dry out. Here we are 3 years in, and it just keeps getting more fun. So, busy weekend. 2 shows tonight, back to back, and 1 show tomorrow. Busy. 2 shows in Salt Lake City. 1 is a new one. I'm excited for it because I personally want to try new stuff. I've always wanted to create my own unique show. I never had the time, but you know what? I always say that about everything else. So I'm just gonna dive into it. We're mixing things up, we're trying things new, and we're diving headfirst without overthinking it. And that's my problem. It's always been think it out, proof it, test it, go. And then before you know it, it's 2025 and you haven't done any of those things. So I'm mixing it up, kind of like this. I've always said to myself, we'll probably start documenting everything, and then just never did. And then one day, just put the phone up, and here we go. So, crazy weekend. We're gonna go to the show, first show, and then back to back. Next show, Don't Tell Comedy. I'm stoked. Man, sometimes I don't know, my ADHD is the problem. There's always this intuition as well that where I feel like I forgot something. And guess what? I did. Had to make a last minute stop at friggin' Guitar Center. Buy a chord. Woo! But here we are. 2 shows back to back. Drift Lounge, new show with music accompanied right after that. Live question and answer. People text in their question. 2 comedians answer them, give bad advice, because what comedian has good advice, right? Should be fun.
What's up?
We're all not going to get murdered. We're not. I know most comedy shows you want to kill, but I don't think we want to use that word too much here tonight. This seems scary. Elon's a Nazi. Where did that come from? And so many people are trying to defend it like it wasn't a Sieg Heil. And like, I get it. I've done stupid stuff when I was nervous before. He did it twice. I don't believe he's a Nazi, though. I believe it was a Sieg Heil. I do think he did that. I don't think he's a Nazi, though, because the Nazis wouldn't accept him. There's no way a guy who jumps like that is... And he teaches them, and it's this wonderful teaching moment. See, we're gonna get murdered here. That's what happens. I talked about gay people in Trump's America. I'm gonna get murdered now.
I need all the wins, yeah. Quits. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this.
Let's welcome back to the stage one of our comics, Adam Brown.
We asked you guys to like send some questions. We emphasized a little bit of like ask us some advice.
Yeah.
And we found out y'all some freaks in the audience.
Freaks?
Yeah, which is fun.
Some little dirty dogs.
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
So we've got some advice things that people asked, and we wanted to address them as well while Jake plays a little bit of jazz in the background. This person said, I think I said something inappropriate during Dirty Talk. Have you ever been in a similar situation? How did you make that work out for you? I'm ex-Mormon, so I barely learned how to dirty talk just recently, basically.
You're a little baby dirty talker.
Yeah, my problem was I used to have sex without swearing. Do you realize how hard it is to dirty talk without swearing, guys? It's just you and your partner, and one of you are like, ooh, that's so good.
You're like, oh, frick me harder.
Oh,
baby.
Yeah. Like, ooh, that's so good, and the other one's like, how good? And the other one's like, ooh, really very good.
Really freaking good.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Mother trucker.
Because you can't say jizz, so you say gee whiz instead.
That's how I get it. success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands.
Last question we got. What's the weirdest fetish that you've heard of? Because I think I have it, and how do I make it still sound romantic? Interesting.
Is it Nosferatu play?
You want to sign the government papers.
Is it that?
I love that there's one of you, but I wish there was nose for two of us instead. Some vampire play. That is fun. This is a fun thing. Me and my wife, every year we get super fucking high and we watch the Twilight series, and I can't recommend that enough to people.
You're like, this is the ass of a killer, Bella.
Out of my bag, I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. Plus a family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and woo.
Man, so back-to-back shows is really, that's a tough one, but it was fun. Crazy night. Hecklers, so much alcohol, more deals closing. I hate it when people talk during a show. I have to be the bad guy every time and tell them to shut up. Not a fan of that, but altogether, pretty decent night. Back-to-back shows, stressful. It's very stressful. It was a success on both fronts, mainly because we were trying new things, and the payoff was, I wouldn't say as expected, but I will say that it is promising for future. So I'm normally, when you try new things, it crashes and burns, you know? This did not. Like, it was fun. Like, we got to read questions out loud in front of the audience who submitted them. Plus, we got to do jokes behind jazzy music. Way fun. Would love to try and pitch that show to an actual club, because it was that fun, and everybody also said the same thing. Everybody who did that was like, this is fun. In fact, some of them even texted me in the middle. It's just like, this is way fun. We should definitely do this more. What's cool is the club wants to do it more. The lounge wants to do it 2 times a month. The thing is that eventually, every time the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome sets in and tries to convince otherwise, that eventually this is going to dry out. But man, here we are 3 years in. It's just not, and it just keeps getting more fun in that regard. And I'm super humbled by it. I'm super grateful for it. Way fun show in hindsight. At the time, it was stressful because of the hecklers. Not a fan of that. And I will say that it was, well, I won't say that. How about that? Because there's comedy drama in there, and who wants that? Spoiler alert, we all want it. We all want the tea. I always worry about this, because the pool of comedians are so small here in Utah, that I'm always worried that people are gonna say, oh, well, we already saw that comedian. But the thing is, the comedians that I get to work with are really good at what they do. And they put on a show every time. They know, they get that. Some comedians do not. Some comedians only have the 5 to 7, if not 10 minutes, that they do every single night. Every time they hit a mic, they don't write anything new. They don't do anything else except for that, because it's the only thing that ever works for them. But the thing is that the shows that we get to do, I'm in a really interesting position, because I always put on shows where it's possibly 80% of the people in the crowd, it's their first time at a comedy show. They've never been to an actual comedy club, and this is their first experience, and people just don't understand that, and they freaking tell dick jokes right out of the gate. And the thing is that That's 100% what everybody fears about this industry, is that they're going to say things that are going to scare people away. Anyway, way fun show. Now I got to take all this crap back and drop it off. 11:55. It ends up going to be midnight, and then before you know it, it's going to be 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning when you go to bed. Hey, that's the job.
Honey, you better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Comedy.